Hi friends, welcome to another Reddit Rev episode. Please subscribe and hit that like button if you're enjoying the content, and please share it with your friends if you can. I'd really appreciate it. Also, please leave me a comment to let me know what you think of the episode. Now let's get started with today's stories.
My wife is having an affair. What should I do? A friend told me to ask for suggestions here. I got married last year to this beautiful girl. I was happy and she seemed happy too. Our families got connected through some common connection. I met her for the first time in a coffee shop in March last year. I liked her from the first instance I met her. Over the next few months, in several meetings, we talked about life, career, our future together, and all the stuff which one should talk about before marriage. Our perspective on most of the things aligned, which had not happened with the girls I had met before her. I fell in love with her the more I talked to her. So when the time came, I said yes to marrying her happily. She also said yes. And we got married in last October. Both of us are working professionals. So once she came to my home, we continued with our career. And everything was good at home too. We cooked together, went out, and had fun. Everything was good sexually too. Then beginning of December, I kind of felt like she was distancing herself from me. Initially, I thought of giving her space, so I didn't pry too much, but she stopped doing the things we were doing together. After a week or so, I couldn't ignore it any further, so I asked, "Is everything okay? You seem sad since the past few days." She would just say, yeah, everything is fine, but her mood didn't change. For the next couple of weeks, I asked her from time to time, but she said the same thing every time and didn't want to talk to me very much. I thought in the beginning that maybe it's something I had done which might have offended her, so one night I apologized to her. I wasn't sure for what I was apologizing for, but I still did it just to make sure that it wasn't something I did unconsciously. But even after this, she still maintained her distance with me. She also avoided any intimacy, so I stopped trying to get close to her. It started to feel like I was staying in a stranger in my home. I also thought maybe she had some past history with depression or some other issues. So I talked to her brother and also one of her friends, but they told me no, she doesn't have any such issues. By January's end, it was around 2 months since we behaved like husband and wife. In between these 2 months, I tried many times to break this barrier and tried to talk to her, but she would get irritated and angry. We had some small fights too. In the first week of February, she left for another city for a week and told me she has a friend whom she was going to meet. I felt happy that she's finally looking forward to something, and maybe it was this new place which made her sad. While she was away, I would call her every day, but she would usually not pick up, or when she did, we talked for only like 2 minutes, and her 1 week stay extended for 2 weeks. I was okay with this, however. Finally, she came home, and I was very excited because I thought this time she would come home changed and refreshed. I planned the weekend for us together, but she was the same. She wasn't interested in spending time with me, and was mostly in her room either watching something or on the phone talking to someone. I'm not that kind of person who wants to disturb anyone's personal space, so I let her be. After 4 to 5 days like this, I didn't know what else to do. I thought of going on a European trip with her, to which she said no. One day, last Saturday, she went out for some parlor or other stuff and her phone was at the home. Her phone rang, and initially she ignored it, and then it pinged with some messages. Then I did what I didn't think I would ever do ever. I looked through her phone even though it was locked. I could see the WhatsApp message notification, and the message read, "Hi baby, I miss you so much. When are you coming again?" and some heart emojis. I can't explain how I felt after reading that. Once she came back, I confronted her. I didn't shout, I just said to her calmly that I know who she went to meet with, and I was curious why she's not interested in me. She told me it was her boyfriend from college. I didn't know what to say to her. I left my flat and went out. Later, I had some more questions. That's why I asked her as to why did you marry me and other things. To all these questions, she only had one answer. I don't know. Yesterday, she came to me saying that she is sorry and that she broke up with her boyfriend and that she would never do something like this again, and that she would only love me from now on. I felt shattered inside. I didn't feel anger, I just felt sad. And what's actually funny is that I still feel some love for her. I feel disgusted with myself, but I'm not sure what to do now. I am a software engineer by profession, and I am 33. I am planning to leave the country and go for another software job in Europe. First, I'll have to divorce her. Should I give her one more chance? I am aware of the fact that once a cheater is always a cheater. What do you guys think? Update. I got around 80 pings asking me to share an update, so I thought of sharing it here myself. I decided to postpone the decision of whether to divorce her or not for 6 months. I will finally decide whether to divorce her after 6 months. In the meantime, we are not staying together. We are staying in the same city, but in different houses. She requested 6 months, she doesn't want any money or stuff, and she'll accept my decision if I still want to divorce her after 6 months. As far as the day-to-day is concerned, she visits me twice every day and we spend some time together. She keeps on requesting to stay together, but I've decided not to. She keeps on requesting to stay together, but I decided not to for these 6 months. During the initial few days, she would come and cry for hours, asking for forgiveness. It affected her health and her job. I took her to a therapist after one night when she kept crying for the entire night. I couldn't see her this way in so much distress and pain. From the last few days, she is doing better. Usually most of the time we are together during the evening, and we spend it on cooking. We both like cooking. Every day she'll come up with a more complicated dish to prepare with sides and appetizers and what not to. Yesterday, we prepared momos with soup inside of it. All our momos were breaking. We had to use a syringe to inject soup at an appropriate temperature to stop it from breaking. And this was just a starter. She also prepared a main course and dessert. It took around 5 to 6 hours to prepare everything. Her intention is that more complicated the dish will be, the more time it will take and the more time she'll get to spend with me. I am living on a day-to-day basis, and I am not sure at this point what I'm going to decide after 6 months. I like to quote Reich here, "Let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror, just keep going. No feeling is final." Just a request to people in the comment section. I read many comments saying very, very vulgar things about my wife. Something like she is a prostitute and she belongs on the street, and other more vulgar things. Kindly, don't say such things about my wife. And finally, thank you for all the wishes and messages. I wish you all the very best in life, and I will share if there are any updates in the future.
I hope you enjoyed our video. It's always a pleasure creating these stories, and if you liked what you saw, please take the time to show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already done so. Sharing with your friends is also greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of our videos. I'm all ears. Be sure to check back soon for more original Reddit stories every day on Reddit Rev. Until then, stay awesome, my friend.